Hello everyone and welcome to the April edition of Parade of Paws. I'm Officer Thomas Anderson of the Casa Grande Police Department, and joining me today is Linda Garcia of the Animal Care and Adoption Center. She's the supervisor here. Hello Linda, nice to be with you again.
Nice to be with you, Thomas.
So today's a special day. We have a special showcase of animals for you, but before we start I'd like to give a big shout out to one of our viewers. Her name is Catherine Strom. Catherine is in Japan or from Japan, and she's been watching our show for a long time, and she emailed the Animal Care and Adoption Center here recently about one of our dogs that we were showcasing, and we just wanted to say hello to you, Catherine, if you're watching, and let everybody know that our reach is far and wide if we're getting all the way to Japan. So thank you for watching, and we hope you spread the word out there in Japan, and hopefully other countries also will get some more viewership. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have something special today, as I said, and what's special is that today we are only showcasing dogs. So all of you cat lovers, I hope you're not upset about that, but sit back and relax, and hopefully you'll enjoy the dog show today, right?
Sounds good.
So we'll start off with, I think we have 10 dogs that we're going to go through, and then maybe a few puppies after that. Let's start off with our first dog.
Alrighty, let me grab Rachel. This is our first dog up for adoption. This is Rachel. She's been showcased before. She's still looking for a forever home. As you can see, she's a little cockapoo. She's a mix. She's about 13 weeks old. She's a petite little girl. She's looking for a forever home. As you can see, she's a little shy, very loving, very friendly. She has a sister named Nicole, which we'll be seeing shortly. But if you are interested in adopting Rachel, she's still here, and she would love to go home with somebody very soon. So Rachel, I'm going to sit her down. You can see she's not going to be very big. She's, like I said, a petite little girl. She's very friendly. She's a little hugger and a little lover. This is Rachel.
So next is Nicole. And is this the sister?
This is Nicole. This is her sister. And as you can see, there's a bit of difference between Nicole and her sister Rachel. Nicole is more like a terrier mix because she's got that little terrier fur. She's tan and white. She's also 13 weeks. She's a little bigger than her sister. Very friendly. These little dogs are very outgoing, very playful, but they're still waiting for their forever home. We get a lot of people come and look in at them, but they, for whatever reason, haven't chosen them. So we hope the viewers out there will see Rachel and Nicole and come in and say, that's the dog for me. There she is. This is Rachel.
Remember, folks, we're definitely looking for a forever home for all of our animals here today. And next up is Rosebud.
This is Rosebud. Rosebud is a little Chihuahua. She's about 7 months old. She's not going to be very big. She's got a sweet little smile when she plays. She's a hugger. As you can see, she loves to be held. And she's very friendly, sweet. Her little tail goes like crazy when she's all happy. But right now I think she's just a little intimidated by all the people and the cameras. So she's going to be a little camera shy. But outside of that, she's a sweetie. As you can see her face, very tail's going. And she needs a home also. She's been with us for a little while, and she's very sweet, very good with other dogs. And this is Rosebud.
So I believe our next dog is a beagle named Fife. Fife is a little reluctant to come out, but once he's out, I'm sure he'll be happy, right?
This is Fife. Fife had another dog look just like him named Dennison, but Dennison was twice the size. This is a beagle mix. His name is Fife. You can call him Barney. And he's just looking for a home. He doesn't care if it's in Mayberry or if it's in Casa Grande, but Fife would love a home to go to with a yard to run around in. He's definitely got beagle in him. He's about, I think about 1.5 years old is what we've got him aged at. Very friendly, little shy at first, but as soon as he gets to know you, there he is. He's all yours. This is Fife. He's a male. And there we go. All righty.
All right, before we move on to our next dog, Linda, can you share a little bit about the weather conditions? As you know, the summer is basically upon us, and hot weather conditions are something that we really need to be concerned about with our pets. Can you share a little bit of tips or information for our viewers about that?
I'd love to. I think we take for granted how beautiful our weather here is in Casa Grande in Arizona, but it can easily turn from 80 to 90 to 100 real quick. Right now, with the dogs and your cats, you must have plenty of shade, plenty of potable water, clean water for them. We have people that like to go out for walks, and we had some really nice weather for a while, and that was great. But when the weather hit 90 and you're taking a walk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're in the heat of the day, your dog's paws are burning on that cement. So we love seeing owners taking their dogs for walks. We love it. But the best time is early in the morning. Go for a walk or a jog with your animal. He'll really appreciate it. Or later in the evening, but not during the middle of the day at the heat of the day. Always have water on you for your animal. They have portable bowls that fold up. You can stick in your pocket. So if you're jogging or just walking. But mainly what we emphasize to everybody is plenty of water. Big buckets, big bowls, play pools, plenty of shade. Not a little bit of shade, a lot of shade. And that's our best safety tip we can tell you to help your animal to have a nice summer and be safe from the heat.
Linda, you mentioned shade, and you've told our viewers this before in the past, last year for sure, I know. When you say shade, you don't just mean a doghouse. You mean shade over that structure also, and probably getting the doghouse off, or the structure off the ground also, correct?
Thomas, absolutely. You can't be any better said than that. Everybody thinks a doghouse is sufficient enough. A doghouse in the summer is like an oven. No dog's going to go in there to get out of the sun. You have to have shade above and beyond the doghouse. The doghouse is for the elements such as rain, which we don't get a lot, but in the coldness and getting off the dampness of the ground. So when you have a doghouse, by putting additional panels of wood or some shade screen or someplace near a tree where it's constantly shaded is the single best tip you can do for your dog. Think about you. You like standing out there in the heat when it's 100 degrees? I don't. I don't think you do either, and your animal sure does not appreciate it either. And the water, make it fresh. Don't make it green and slimy in the bucket. Change it daily. Clean it out. Get him one of those play pools, and if he goes and tips it over, then he's got a place to go lay in it. He can go jump in the pool and cool off, just like some of us that have pools. We jump in our pool to cool off. The dogs will do the same thing. That's
some great information. Thank you very much. Let's move on to our next dog.
Okay, the next dog we have is Dozer. This is Dozer. He's a Wheaten Terrier. He loves to dance. As he's coming up stem right now, he will dance on his back hind legs, and he wiggles really well, as you can see. He's a sweet boy. He's a California boy, actually. We tracked his chip to California. It hit a dead end, and no one's come to claim him. Dozer's about 4 years old. He's a wonderful dog, and he really knows how to shake that little tail. So if you're looking for a sweet dog that can shake his tail real well, this is your dog. This is a Wheaten Terrier named Dozer, and he's a dancer. Dozer, come here. Oh, there's a good boy. There we go. There we go. That's a good boy.
All right, I believe our next dog's name is Gibbs.
This is Gibbs. This is a poodle. Gibbs is approximately 1.5 years old. He's cream in color. He's neutered. He's ready to go to his forever home. I think we think he's probably cockapoo in him. He's not pure poodle, but he's not going to get any bigger than this. If you have any type of allergies or you're allergic, these type of dogs are one of the best ones to adopt because their fur is not as hypoallergenic as others that cause you to sneeze and their dander. Their maintenance is a little bit because they have to be groomed, but it's not that hard. He's very sweet. He loves every other dog. His roommate is McGee, who you'll get to meet in a minute. And again, this is Gibbs. He's male neutered. He's 1.5 years old, and he is cockapoo mix. And he's ready to go to a new home.
Before you bring Gibbs's buddy out,
okay, let me just
I want to ask you a question about, you mentioned a little bit about the possible breed of Gibbs or some of these other dogs. Mm-hmm. Some of them, of course, are pure breeds that come through here. Some
yes.
are not. We recently had someone ask us on Facebook about border collies and if you have any, and so that brought up a bigger question about, can people request a specific breed if they're looking to adopt an animal?
Thomas, absolutely. Call into our department, 426-9300. Leave me your name, your address, your phone number, and basically what you're looking for. You want a Border Collie, male, female, an age, nothing over 2. We will put you in our Rolodex, which is what we check weekly to see if we got any animals that will fit a description to maybe get a love match, and then we try to match them up. And if it doesn't work that way, we also have people that will call us to let us know that they can't keep a certain breed of animal because they're moving, or maybe there's a health thing in their home, and it might be somebody on our list who's looking for that animal, and then we can hook them up, and then they have another adoption.
Great. All right, well, let's meet McGee.
Okay. Here's McGee. This is Gibbs's partner. McGee is poodle, we think poodle schnauzer. He's about 2 years old. He is male and he is neutered also. He is ready to go to a new home. He is very friendly, very outgoing, loves his friend Gibbs. And Gibbs and McGee can go together, but they can go separate also. Very sweet dogs, really great dispositions. Again, same thing. You don't have to worry so much about the fur with them. They don't shed as much because they're poodles. They have that hypoallergenic that makes it better for people who are allergic to some breed of dogs' fur and the dander. With them, it's much better. And this is McGee. All right.
So next, I think you have a young pup, right?
Now we got Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
Now Carrie is a Chihuahua, and she's very shy. It's going to take a little bit for whoever loves her to warm up, but once she gets warmed up, she's yours forever. She's just a little shy at first, but then afterwards she's fine. She is about approximately 5 months old. She's a female, and she definitely wants a forever home. We finally have got her to come up to the front of the cage and take treats from us, and we can sit with her now, and she's not afraid as she used to be. She was dumped on the street, so she had a little bit of a traumatic start, and now we're working around trying to befriend her, and she's coming along just fine. So if you're interested in Carrie, give us a call, and she will be there for you.
So Linda, we still have a few more dogs to look at, but before we do, I want to make a little shift here. If you can tell us a little bit about snakes. I know you wanted to talk about snakes a little bit today on today's show.
Yeah, sadly I do want to talk about them. There was a dog that didn't make it because he got snake bit. I'd like to tell you that, you know, if you live in the desert, you should be prepared, but we are in the desert, it's Arizona. But if you live out on the outskirts where it's more predominant, where they can be nesting, they're out already. Your dog walking off leash away from you, you have no control. He comes up upon a snake and he gets snake bit. You can lose your dog's life. There is treatment. They do have snake venom shots. You'd have to check with the vet. It's not a guarantee, but it is so much of a help to that dog if he does get snake bit. It is very hard. We went through it here. It was a traumatic thing for the owner. It's traumatic for us to see it. When dogs come in that are snake bit, because a lot of times they don't make it. There's so much venom. This dog particularly got bit by a baby rattler, which struck twice and put all its venom in it, so the dog really didn't have too much of a chance. They can save them. It can be very costly, over $4,000 sometimes, depending on if they have to use venom. So our thing is to just be smart when you're walking your dog, especially in the desert. That's why we believe on a leash, because you have the control if it comes upon one to pull it away. Remember, a snake can strike half the distance of his body. So if it's a 6-foot snake, he can strike 3 feet. So just be careful where you walk on the trails, and watch for your dog, and watch for that, and listen for that sound to keep your dog or your pet safe, please.
And Linda, you mentioned one more thing. You mentioned about veterinarians. I would have to guess that a lot of people don't have a family vet for their animals, and it's too late to worry about that when the accident or the injury occurs to your animal. What's your suggestion or advice to owners of pets that are new owners, or even that have had pets for a while and they don't have a vet? Should they go out and find a vet soon before the emergency takes place?
Absolutely. I believe it should be just like you have a doctor for yourself and your kids. You should have a vet ready for your animal. When you take the responsibility to adopt or buy an animal, then you need to take that full responsibility to provide the care for them. And the care meaning find a vet, talk to some friends, find out who they use, go talk to the vet, see if that person and you click and it's perfect, and then get a exam set up so you get the basic shots, and then if you have questions or an emergency arises, you can always call your vet. But without having an established vet, they cannot provide anything or do anything over the phone. So you'd have to go in and see them. But once you establish some type of rapport with them, then there's certain things more that they can do. But just over the phone, they cannot give and dispense medical advice without seeing the animal. So there's several vets in town. I tell everybody, be a good shopper. Go around, go talk to them. You want to be able to get along with that vet as well as you do your own doctor. You want to feel comfortable with that person and their knowledge and their experience. So find a vet, take your dog or cat in, get them an exam, start that rapport, and you're all set. If God forbid something happens, you'll know where to go when your animal gets sick, hurt, or injured.
Excellent. Great advice. Thank you very much. Introduce our viewers to Baby G.
Okay, Baby G has a special story. Baby G was dumped on the corner of Rodeo Road in Treckle. There was numerous people feeding this dog and trying to get her. There was almost impossible. There was one gentleman named John who every day went there and made sure she had food and water. We set a trap for her for 3 days, and we had a lot of people come in and they were disturbing the trap. They didn't understand. We were trying to save her life before she got killed on Rodeo or Treckle. We finally got her, and Baby G is with us, thank goodness, and she is the sweetest, most loving dog. She is full of energy. Julie's going to bring her out and place her up front because she's full of energy, loves to play. She wouldn't go near anybody at first, and now she's become Julie's and the staff's new best friend. She is ready to go home. She's an American Staffordshire Terrier cattle dog mix. She was living at Treckle Rodeo for weeks from the kindness of strangers, putting food and water out. And once we got her with John's help, her whole personality has totally changed. She's loving and affectionate and just needs a new home. So anybody out there wants to give Baby G a new home instead of her living on the streets like she did at Rodeo and Treckle, excuse her, she would love to go home and not have to ever live like that again. She won't live like that here. She loves it here, but we want her to have a forever home. So this is Baby G, and that's what John called her because every day she waited patiently for him to come with food and water.
One of the most important elements of animal ownership is spay and neutering, and along with that is not spending too much money. Can you tell us a little bit about the low-cost program?
Sure. The City of Casa Grande Animal Care and Adoption Center offers low-cost spay and neutering for anybody within the City of Casa Grande, city or county. It doesn't matter when it comes to the low cost. Every year, we have been fortunate enough, we apply for a grant from the pet-friendly license plate, and we will apply again this year, and we will cross our fingers and cross our paws and hope that we get chosen again. We've been chosen 3 years in a row, and we have done over 550 animals free of charge with the money that they have given us, the grant, and been able to spay and neuter them for free. All you pay is a $10 fee for the rabies shot. We will apply for the grant again and hope that many people will go out and purchase that plate. It's $25, $17 of it goes into a fund in which it is only used in the state of Arizona. We write a grant proposal like we do every year, and we submit it, and we sit there and, like I said, we cross our fingers, cross our toes, and we cross our paws, and if we get chosen again this year, we'll be able to help about another 150 to 60 people with their dog or cat to get spay or neutered for free.
Excellent. So I believe we have one more dog to see before we move on to our final little package, right?
We sure do. This one's Shadow. He is about a year old. Julie's going to bring him out because he's quite large. Shadow has got some obedience training. He sits on command, except right now I think he's looking at the cameras and thinking, oh my goodness, everybody's here. He will play ball till he drops. He will fetch. He has a big blue ball that we got him, and it is his best friend. So if you want a dog that fetches, plays ball, sits on command, Shadow's the dog for you. He is 1 year old. He is a male, and he is, there he goes, and he is looking for a big backyard to run in, maybe some kids to play ball with. So if you're looking for a big dog that likes to play ball and have a nice yard, Shadow's the dog for you.
Great. So speaking about big dogs and walking your dogs, let's talk about leash laws a little bit. I'm sure everyone out there wants to know what laws are in regards to leash your dogs. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The city of Casa Grande has an ordinance for having your dog on a leash at all times. A lot of people don't quite understand the reasoning for this, and let me give you a couple of sad facts why and how important it is. You're walking to throw your trash away in the alley, and like usual, your dog follows behind you like he's done for years, and this one particular time there's a bunch of dogs out. These dogs are much bigger, and now they go to attack your dog. You have no defense, no way of getting him before the dogs can get to him. If he was on a leash, you could snatch him up quick, get him in your arms, and maybe save his life and protect him from being attacked. We have more dogs die that way or get severely injured because someone walks to the mailbox or someone walks to the trash can and the dog isn't on a leash. The leash law is for their safety and the public safety. You have control over them. If it's a big dog, and yes, there are dogs that do run loose and go after them, at least he has the ability to try to pull them away and get the dog to safety. With not on a leash, you have absolutely no control, and that puts your dog in danger.
So I believe you have a little surprise for us. No cats today, but we do have a fluffy, furry little surprise.
We
right?
got a couple of them for you.
So this is the next best thing to having kittens and cats out here,
Sure.
right?
What about puppies? These are two little Chiweenies. They are 8 weeks old. There were a batch of 6. These are the last 2 left. They're looking for homes. They're little boys. All their other siblings are gone, and now these 2 would like to find a home. Together or separate, they don't care. And they're 8 weeks old, and they are ready to go to a new home. All right, so since we had 2 boys, whoop, there we go, sweetie. Let's try 2 girls. As you can see, they're just a little different. This one has like radar ears. They're 8 weeks old also. This is a different set of Chiweenies. They were born here at the shelter. And as you can see, this one's got almost like a terrier face. And see how different they are? But they're from the same litter. These 2 are sisters. This is the dominant sister, as you can tell. It's feisty. She's already chewing on my finger. This one is the more laid-back, sweet, kind one. And this one's the rowdy one. But very playful, definitely need a home, as you can see. And these are 2 girls. So if you're interested in any one of them, just give us a call. Tell us the one with the big ears or the little terrier one. We'll know which one you're talking about. 2 more. Last but not least are 2 brothers. This is from the same litter. These 2 are a little different. As you can see, he's got the black snout. He doesn't. This is definitely the dominant one, and they're boys. They're 8 weeks old. Very playful, so if you're looking for puppies and children and play, this is it. This one's a little more quieter than this one, but once they get going, it's like having a newborn baby that's about, 9, 10 months crawling around the house, because they're going to get into everything. They're going to be playing, and they're funny, and they're sweet, and these 2 need homes. Okay?
So those are all of our dogs and our puppies to showcase for today. We sure hope that you would like to come down and take a look at some of them, select 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 of them and make the forever home for them. Before we end, are there any more tips that you want to discuss today?
Just a couple of quick things I'd just like to bring up. We're having our next low-cost clinic will be July 19th from 8 a.m. to 10 at Gilbert Park, which is Trinity and Treckle Road. It's in the park right there by Evergreen School. We'll be offering low-cost rabies vaccines for $10 and licenses for your dogs and cats. The other thing I just wanted to touch briefly on is obedience training, the benefit for everyone. Not only does an obedience-trained dog benefit you, who doesn't want to have a dog who is obedience-trained, who does not, cause a nuisance to the people that come into your home, that is behaved well when you walk outside with them, when he's on a leash, that doesn't go after other dogs, that is very patient, is good around children, and exhibits such great behavior. That only comes from one thing, by having the dog obedience trained. It's like teaching your children the proper way, what to do. Take your dog to obedience school. I will tell you, you will have a better dog, a happier home, and a happier dog. Great.
So one more thing, can you tell people where they can find you? What's the address here?
We're at 202 East 1st Avenue. Our phone number is 520-426-9300. It is a voicemail system. Leave a name and a number and a brief message. One of my officers will call you back and answer any questions they can for you. And We're trying to get to the point where we can have the shelter open at a certain time for viewing, but we do set up appointments, so call, come on in, let's get you in there, take a look at some of the animals, let's empty out some of those cages in there and let them have new forever homes.
Great. So I would like to thank you from the police department and from the community. And the reason for that is, some of you may not know, this is National Animal Control Officer Week, and we are so appreciative of your efforts and all of the efforts of your staff here at the Animal Care and Adoption Center. You do a great job every day, and sometimes even nights and on the weekends, to keep our community safe and our animals safe. And obviously to find forever homes for these great animals, right?
Thomas, thank you so much. And just so you know, this can't be done by one person. This is done by my entire staff, and I could not do this job without them. And I would just like to recognize them myself. Officer Mary Dill, Officer Lisa Hartwell, my kennel assistant, Julie Tiemann, all my volunteers, Joyce, Pat, Catherine, Michael, my Adecco workers, Manny, Stephanie, Susan, trying not to forget anybody, another volunteer, Faye. All of this is possible because of their volunteering, the Adecco workers, my workers, and the citizens of Casa Grande, for the ones that are responsible pet owners. Thank you for being that responsible pet owner. And for you that don't have a dog or a cat, come see us. We can provide you with a wonderful animal that will bring you lots of joy. As you heard from Officer Anderson, we touched somebody in China.
Japan.
So, Japan, pardon me. So if we got as far as Japan, so let's see where else we can go, and maybe we can get some more dogs. I'm willing to ship to Japan, and joking, but if she'll come here, we'll place her dog for her. So thank you for everything.
Great. So whether you're in Japan or China or one of our surrounding communities here or right here in Casa Grande, remember that you can find lots of information. Some of the sites that Linda has mentioned already today, azpetplates.org, petfinder.com. Of course, you can find our Facebook pages and a bunch more information at www.casagrandeaz.gov. And thank you for watching Parade of Paws, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.